Thank you very much. Good evening, good afternoon, good everything for everybody who is in this session. So we will speak about SharePoint Spaces and how to connect this 3D virtual environment to Teams mostly. So my name is Patrick Guimonet. Let's go. So this is on the top right of this slide, an example of a 3D object we can directly embed into PowerPoint here, for example. And this is the exact same object we will be able to embed into, for example, SharePoint Spaces. So I mostly do this session usually to present what is SharePoint Spaces, but today I will customize it to mostly focus on integration with Teams. So a few words about me. I am mostly, I'm based in Paris. I'm mostly enterprise solution architect, which means that I create some solution for my business solution to help my customers solve their business problems using the Microsoft 365 tools. I love to be a speaker and organizer of a community event like this one. I have mostly managed the, especially the French track on this event today. So this is a great introduction to a big Teams Nation event, big edition. We have a community of speakers and organizer. We call it AMS for Azure, Microsoft 365, and SharePoint. So under this brand, we love to organize our own event around the world. And obviously, nowadays, it's mostly online. But we are pretty confident that we will be able to organize a live event and in real very soon, we hope. Feel free to connect on any social networks. And I have been awarded by Microsoft MVP for 10 years. But probably the most important information you need to keep in mind about me is that I love baguettes and I love bread in any way, any sort of bread, which is very typical of humankind. I love to present this session, this type of session, asking who are you? Are you mostly from IT? So if you have access to the chat, feel free to answer this question. Are you mostly working in the IT part of the organization as a consultant or as an internal? Or are you mostly working in the business part of the organization? Why I love to point this? Because definitely any Teams project, any Microsoft 365 project, you need to have a great interaction between IT and business, and without that, definitely you will not be able, or it will be very hard to be successful if you don't put in the same place, in the same discussion, IT and business. The agenda will be mostly in 3 phases. First, a demo about SharePoint Spaces, and as I said, I will mostly focus on integration into Teams. Then we will try to give some more understanding on what is 3D, what is virtual reality, what is augmented reality, and what are the difference, and what are the way we can go there with the different tools provided by Microsoft. And we will try to finish with a discussion on use case, because everything is every technical thing is interesting, but definitely we need to provide some solution or to create some added value. So this is probably the first question you should ask to yourself: for what use case I will use these functionalities. So. What is SharePoint Spaces for many of you? I suppose it's not very well known or not known at all. Let's start with I have a very true use case. And some of my customers, one of my customers, have asked me, okay, we are in COVID time. We are organizing an annual event, so we have created some organization, a team into teams. We have created some channels. So here we have, for example, a general channel for general announcement, and then some channel for one channel for keynote, some channel for rooms. It was before breakout rooms, so we have created several channel for room. But anyway, and we have also some more added channel for coffee or for breaks, for people to have a look on some type of information. We call it library, but you understand the meaning. And a service desk to go for more information if needed. So this is what we could call a typical organization for teams to organize an online event. Nothing very specific here. And the first question of my customer was to say, okay, I want to create an access to this space, not directly into Teams, but for example in a web page. So SharePoint.com here. Okay, I want to send a link to a page created in SharePoint to help my user to join the keynote, the room, and the whole event. But the question was, can't we do something better? And the answer is yes, definitely. We can do it better with SharePoint Spaces. So the first thing is to activate the space feature at site level. So if you didn't do that already, you can find it in settings, site information, and manage site feature. It's okay. But and then you will get the option in the new menu on every site. But let's go directly to the demo. So here I am in my Teams. So we have seen some screenshots. So here are a very typical online event with some meetings. By the way, we can create, so you can create channel meetings and schedule a meeting and create some channel meetings. And from there, if you have created your meetings, you can edit the meetings and add some more information. For example, you can add some more details here in the Teams message. You can even add a title or subtitle, and then you can change it to by default it's a new conversation, but you can add a more appealing announcement view like that, and that's it. So it's very cool for end user to go there, and when the keynote is launched, you will be able to join it clicking on the purple size square. Okay, so that's my meeting. Here we can see that I have created, so in each channel, one meeting. Obviously, I can create more channel in. I can create 2 or 3 or even can many meetings in per channel. But definitely for the ease of use, I would highly recommend to create only 1 meetings if possible. I will show you in a few minutes another example where we had to create more than 1 meeting in 1 channel. But at one point in time, it's a good idea to have only 1 meeting running, because when 1 meeting is running, you will see a little camera on the right of the channel name, and then people will know that there is a meeting available at that time to join. So this is interesting to keep it as simple as possible. as soon as you have created your meeting, you can at every moment go to the meeting details. And here you see something like a message like that, join Microsoft Teams meetings. And here you have the option either to open the meeting, but we will not do that here because it will put our meeting in hold. And the second option, which is very what I want to do, is to copy the link of the meeting. So here you have copied the link of the meeting with this deep link. So I can paste it just to show you how it looks like. So it's a very not easily understood meetings, but a link, but URL. But you can see that it's a URL pointing to Teams and to a Meetup join page. So this is definitely a link that can be used everywhere to directly point to this meeting. The interesting thing is that you don't need to be inside Teams to join this meeting because you can join it in a browser. So with this link, I can create a page in my SharePoint. So as you probably know already, every Teams when it has been created in Teams have also besides a SharePoint site. So if I go to files, for example, here, I can open my SharePoint site. Sorry, it's not. I have already opened it in the correct browser with the correct. Should be great here to have it. So go back. Okay. No, sorry, so it's not the correct because I have two accounts and I want to show several things. Okay, here I have I am on the SharePoint, which is connected to my team. I can see the traditional channel, which are folders, and the interesting thing is that it's connected to my Teams, definitely with the same right and thing. The interesting thing is that I can use the page. So let's go to site contents. I can use the page library. So every SharePoint site to connect it to a Teams has a site page library, a page library here. And directly in this space, I can create some new page. So here I have several options. And obviously I have the standard site page, but I can create a SharePoint space directly from here. Or if I go back to my home, so here is the home. If I go to the new menu, I can create some page or some space directly from here. So definitely a space is a new type of a specific type of page, but not so different from a page. Here, for example, I have created many spaces during several tests, and you can see that every spaces appear as an .aspx file in a SharePoint page library. So that's not so different. Let's open the home page. So the home page is the still default one. Here I have also created a flat page, a 2D page with a standard SharePoint web parts. So here we have some title. Here I use the arrow web part to put with 5 titles, and here I have been able to connect. So if I don't know, so I want to show you the option, and here is the link. I can directly link my my arrow page to the we can see at the very bottom. Let me show you here a very similar URL to the one I have showed you. So this is how I will be able to connect directly my SharePoint page to a Teams meeting. That's very interesting to connect my any button, in fact, to my meeting in Teams. We have here on the bottom right the link, which is called call to action link, to go directly to this space. But as I said, so this is very cool, and this is a cool way to connect my SharePoint to my Teams in my meetings in Teams. I can do the same for every meeting I have created in my Teams. But definitely, I would love to have something more appealing, and for that, I have created a SharePoint Spaces. So let's do let's cancel the change. Yes. So if I go back to my page, or to my home page, or to my site content and page library, I am able to create directly from here, for example, spaces. So by default, this is the creation we get. So here we can already manipulate a 3D environment. And let's try to set some specific information or specific details. So first, we can put a name. So let's put Teams Nation demo. We can add some more description. Then we have to choose a structure. Here we can see that on top of us we have something like a roof. Here we have some very design space, white structure above us, and we are always put on something that they call a terrace. So in fact, as an observer, I am able to see all around me. With my mouse, I can make some the view change on the right and on the left. So I mostly prefer the terrace structure, but you can choose your own. Then you can choose a background image. So by default, we have some cool mountains with some snow and things like that, with a big river. But definitely, if we want to put some more business audience, we want to reach some more business audience, we can use also just a colored background, but I prefer to use a custom image file. And here I have some example. I will, for example, use, which one will I use? This one should be okay. So here I have used an image with some mix of, so this is not what the one I wanted to, because I have probably, maybe this one is better. So you can take a standard 2D image with your phone, with large view or a full 360-degree image. I want to insert it, okay. And it will be you will then be able to or here it is, okay. You will be able to see the whole image by rotating with your mouse all the space. You can specify the height of your floor, and you can specify the rotation angle you want to the starting view to be positioned. Very cool information is to add some audio message, and so when people will enter the space, they will get some more information about what are they supposed to do or what are they supposed to see in this space. And you can as well define some ambient sound, which can be very interesting as well. But I would recommend not to use a too loud sound, because it can be hard to get too much noise. So this is the setting, default setting. So our space is created and is already there and active, but definitely empty. So on the left side, we have very similar a 3D web part tool set. So we have, in fact, 5 2D objects we can embed in our 3D space, and we have 3D object as well. So just to give you a few tests of it, first we can add just a simple image. So this is, for example, a 2D image with a map of the world here. So I can select the object. I can put it in front of me or much closer. I have also some option with the angle, with the blue angle we have here or here. Can put it bigger like that. For some oh, sorry, I don't want here. Okay. For precise settings, you have some option on the bottom of the screen. You can change angle. You can change the distance from the user. So this is the most important, I would say, settings, because it will give the feeling of the object is close or not. You can put it we can add some height or not, and you can change the rotation angle of your object. So that's it, and the scale, obviously. If everything is okay, you can still access to some more settings, and you can change the image. So if you do that, you will keep all the settings, but only the image will be changed, which can be useful. You can change the appearance of the object, like depth, like corner radius. You can add some alternative text. You can add a podium. So a podium is a black podium. You can see here. So it helps to feel that the object is put on something and not flying without anything behind it. The important section here is that you can define some action. So by default, so let's publish this like that, and let me show you the default action. By default, so here is my space, and I have created my object in it. By default, when I click the object, I have an inspection going on, which means that my object is taking almost all the screen, as you can see. And here I have some option to minimize it. This is a default, but I can add more here. So here, if I go back to settings, you can see that I can change the default action, so I can delete, and I have a choice of 5 type of action. So inspect, we have seen that. I can open in a new tab the object. I can link to another SharePoint space, which is a way to create some journey from one space to the other if needed. I can play some specific audio file, and I can link to any page. So this is exactly what I wanted to show you. Let me keep trigger. Let's remove. Let's keep inspect on trigger. And in fact, we have 2 types of action. On trigger means what is going on when you when you left click, sorry, the mouse. And more action is what is going on when you right click the mouse. So here I want to add links to a page, and I just have to, what is very beautiful here is I just have to copy paste the link to my SharePoint, to my Teams meeting I have copied a few minutes ago. And here I will be able to directly join my meetings. So let's try that. I republish. So my SharePoint space has been updated. So if I left click, I just do the exact same inspect action we have already seen. And if I right click, so here I have to close it. Sorry, it don't want to be closed. So maybe a little refresh. Okay. Here it is. I have lost my background, but anyway, it's just a matter of saving. Okay, so here on the left side, what I want to show you is the inspect action, and more action are available either on the below menu or when I right click on this. And here I have the direct link to my Teams meeting I have copied, and here you have the very usual action you can, for example, if you want to join the meeting directly in the browser, this will not disturb our current meeting. So this is the cool way we can integrate the SharePoint space. And let's stop here. And your already created environment into Teams. Isn't it cool? So if we do that, we don't have so much time now, but I should have an already finished example. Here is a lobby I have created for the whole event. And here, for example, I'm not sure this is the correct one, so we will go back again. I have too many. Okay, so if we go back here, we'll go to our event lobby using this menu, because this is another great integration we can have with SharePoint, is that you can add this SharePoint Spaces as a tab. So it's just as easy as adding a page directly into Teams. And here I have by default the SharePoint site connected to my Teams. And here, for example, I have the page I have just created a few minutes ago, Teams Nation demo. Okay. And this will add as a tab into my team. So here I see my SharePoint space, which is as we already said, very similar to a SharePoint page in the Teams Chrome. By default, I don't see that much of my space, but I can still rotate and go where I want to go. So I would definitely encourage you to hide the more teams you can to take all the benefit of the SharePoint space. So that's a cool way of doing it. If I go back to my team space, sorry, don't want to launch. I have my pre-created 3D problem. Oh, let's try again. Okay, sometimes you can have some small message like that, but it's matter of refreshing. Okay, so here once again I have the option to hide most of the Teams interface to have the full screen for my SharePoint space. And here you can see that he's trying to he's recreating the whole environment with here, for example, I have direct visualization allowing me to join the keynote, the room 1, room 2, and things like that. And to each room, in fact, I have associated an object. So here, for example, we have a 3D object, which is the SharePoint rotating logo. Or here, for example, I have a rugby ball that I can make rotate. And if I go to the link, I will join my Teams meeting, associated Teams meeting. Here I have a very cool bee, 3D bee, almost living, more than a living one. So that's a very cool way to give some insight and some sexy view of your meeting. Obviously, my event can be populated with more business information like Word, PowerPoint, or things like that. Here, for example, I have a PowerPoint with the agenda, and I can open it in a new tab. I have the option to open it in a new tab. But here, in fact, it's only opening the PowerPoint file in a PowerPoint online. So we are going outside the 3D virtual world, but that works just fine. Okay, what I wanted to show you. So that's mainly what I wanted to show you in the demo. I can still show you, go back to my event, and I want to show you that I can edit any space. And with the tool set we have available, I wanted to show you that, okay, you can add some today view, like file viewer, like image, like video. So these are very standard object, but we can add some 3D object. And here, for example, we have added some fish, very cool fish, moving fish. So I just want to show you that you have, in fact, 3D object already pre-available in the environment provided by Microsoft. So we have a 3D catalog. You can add more. Here, for example, I have found on the internet SharePoint rotating and Teams rotating object. So I can insert it, and it's just appear in your environment like that. So I can try here to put it more on the right. Okay, I want to push. I don't, yes. Okay, so here you can put it in front of the fish, the many fish we have. And I can put it just more let's close. So here, for example, I can put 8. And that's it. So here is some idea of how you can position and rotate and manage the different objects you can get. So I have not shown you what I wanted exactly to show you. I want to show you more all the available objects in the library. So you can add some more like the logo here, but you can first use some pre-created one, provided one by Microsoft, 3D objects here. So I wanted to show you the 3D catalog. Okay, it's coming. Okay. So we have many animals, some PC, for example, some Microsoft products. And a list of very interesting things, like sports object or things like that. So this is the typical 3D object catalog provided by Microsoft. All these objects can be manipulated and discovered directly into PowerPoint, for example, because this is the exact same 3D engine we have in SharePoint Spaces and in PowerPoint or Word, for example. Here, for example, we have a set of fish you can find directly into the catalog. So let's go back to some slide. We have seen that, and just not to be out of time. So we have seen that. So I directly want to go to which slide is it? 23. I will publish this slide with the screenshot of the demo on my LinkedIn if you are interested. I just wanted to just give you some insight of what is 3D exactly. So this is a process by which we will create a 3-dimensional representation of and render it in 2D images. So we have mostly three phases. The first one is to create some model. So modeling, we speak about 3D modeling. On this model, we apply some layout and some animation. And at some point, we will make this visible on a 2D screen because our screen today nowadays are still mostly 2D. So this is the process of mapping a 3D model on a 2D screen. This is called rendering. So this is what we have in every 3D object. So how can you experiment it? It's quite easy. In fact, because in Windows 10, you have a very interesting app, which is called 3D Viewer, or you can also try to create your own model using Paint 3D. And it's even more easier using PowerPoint. So for example, you can add the 3D object model in directly in a slide in PowerPoint. So that's very easy to test some cool object like this helicopter, for example. And this is a 3D Viewer app in Windows 10. So you can experiment, for example, how to manipulate this little bee. So this was 3D, but what is mixed reality? Mixed reality is a merge between real and virtual. So we have several acronyms here, MR, AR, AV, VR. What should be keep in mind is this is mostly a continuum between the full reality and the full virtuality. So virtual reality is fully virtual, and between a full virtual environment and a real environment, you can add some more virtuality, so we mean then augmented reality, and at some point with a lot of virtuality, you have augmented virtuality. Everything between is mixed reality. SharePoint Spaces can be enriched with a 3D 360 background image. I have just added one or shown you the default, but you have a great summary on this link, following this link. Or you can even create your own 3D object starting from a 2D image, for example, the Microsoft logo. You have a great tutorial on this video. Okay, what's happening? So for which use case? This is the final question. Here, in this demo, we have seen a very great use case, which is how to start an event, an online event from a 3D space. But there are definitely more provided. Here are some examples provided by Microsoft. You can imagine an onboarding and a campus tour. You can imagine product catalogs, product trainings, and you can imagine any thing to launch a new product. So these are some scenarios we can imagine. So this is the end of the session. Let me know if you have some more questions in the chat. And these are very useful links if you want to go deeper in the SharePoint Spaces space to try it or to create your own space. On the left is the official documentation, and on the right is my selection of the best resources I have found to enter this space. So thank you very much. And as I said, I'm available. Was the rotating, so let me have a look. Was the rotating SharePoint and Teams 3D logo creating using 3D Builder from Microsoft Store? No, in fact, I don't remember exactly who did that, but I have found the SharePoint and Teams logo already created for me. So I have not created them, so I don't know who have done that, if it's Microsoft or I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think it's a MVP or something like that who did the job to create the logo in 3D. But you have definitely in the link provided a sample to create, for example, a 3D Microsoft 365 logo if you want it. So you have all the steps explained in the YouTube link I have provided in the previous slide. A question I have very often: will this all render correctly on mobile? Yes, definitely. You can open your SharePoint Spaces in mobile, and it render correctly. So this is an interesting point. There is no limitation specific to using it in mobile. Okay, so Chintan was able to replicate using 3D Builder. So okay, in fact, the 3D object modeling is a very open space. So any software or technology that you can use to create your own 3D object, providing that you can save it in a recognized format by Microsoft, this is okay. So there are many different file extensions supported and you can use to create your 3D model. So I have heard, for example, of GLTF, GLB, STL. So that's not common file extension, but I can put in the chat all the supported extension you can use to save your models, and if then you have a file with this extension, it can be imported into your SharePoint Spaces. Any other question? Let me know. or feel free to connect on Twitter or any other network, and then I will answer the remaining question. Thanks again, and I hope this will give you some idea and another question. Any online documentation to learn configure 3D on SharePoint from scratch? Yes, especially in the link you have here. You have on the left, as I said, the Microsoft standard documentation, and you can see that the first option is how to create SharePoint space, and any other resources I have found which are not I would say community resources are on the right, and Microsoft standard documentation is on the left on this slide. So it's definitely a very a great success for Microsoft because they have been able to simplify almost everything. I am closing all the. So here you have the documentation, and with some cool details and things like that. So definitely you have all the resources available to do it step by step. Thanks everybody, and yes, as Aaron said, if you enjoyed the session or not, please provide some feedback, filling the feedback form. Thank you very much, and hope to see you soon, anytime soon in real at any local event.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Patrick. That was a great session.
Thank you.